that kind of stuff, that's what it all goes directly to. So thank y'all for doing that, and thank you. Big shout out to El Green Machine, much appreciated. See, I think we're also on Shelby's Comics as well. I think it looks like we're maybe there as well. Hey, but Carl's come and show us some of your 5-finger pickups. All right, nice. All right, hey, so let's go ahead. Let's get this thing moving. Oh yeah, hey, Mary Jimenez agreed. It was a great weekend. General Jedi, I do not have a Paul Dunk video. I do have some video footage, and I'll tell you all this. I did not have a chance to edit it today, but I'm hoping to show it, to drop it on the channel here on itself. It's just a little highlight video, but it's got some special messages from Paul, Teresa, Weapon X, and just a big, huge, just a couple little tidbits of stuff. But hey, if you're looking for a recap video, Shelby over on Shelby's Comics, you can find, and he Shelby, if you drop it in the private chat, I can share the link so people can watch it.
All right, my friend.
Shelby put together. I'm amazed at how fast he got it up. I think it was up like the day of, but it's a highlight video, and he's got a bunch of cool stuff on there as well, including his haul that he picked up. Some really neat books, Shelby. I can't wait to show you some of my Spire Christian comics. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that, and we will share that link out to you in just a second. Hey, big shout out to Roman Curtis. Thank you so much. This is a great no Paul show. All right, hey, you know what? $5 for having no Paul on here. We'll take it. Thank you so much. That is much appreciated. Let's see. I think Shelby's. There it is.
Yeah, I just dropped it. Thank you. Yeah, y'all please give me a sub up. I'd really appreciate y'all. I drop videos at least once a week. Hauls, video games, all kind of different things. So really appreciate any kind of support that y'all can give.
Awesome. Yeah, hey, y'all go over there and y'all sub him up, okay? Let's get him some subscriptions tonight. There's almost 30 of y'all hanging out here in the chat, so y'all make sure and go over there. Shelby, I really appreciated getting to know him. I'd seen him. I think we'd seen each other as like video screens, but I'd never gotten a chance to meet him in person. Really cool guy, and so I really enjoyed the few minutes that we got to talk and hang out, and looking forward to more so, because he is another local comic YouTuber. Same for Southern Comic Geek. Really enjoyed getting to know him, so I was excited that both of these guys were willing to come on and at the end of a long day and share. So hey, let's get started with showing off some of the stuff that we picked up. I'm going to go ahead and take it over to let's let Mr. Collector get us started. Mr. Collector, hey, look, if there was an MVP of Pop Culture Power Show,
for sure,
it was Mr. Collector. He was working the entire time. I literally think he only walked the show floor for 30 minutes. Every other time he was walking. And I remember there's a couple times I tried to get him. I said, hey, man, here, come sit down with me and have a slice of pizza. He said, no, man, I can't. I'm working. That's dedication, because he's a volunteer. He was there 100% volunteer. So big shout out to him. What? All right. Joan Jazz says Cross Collects community meetup in Rome in July. Hey, I'm down to fly to Rome if somebody is. Thank you for subbing, El Green. But hey, I'm down to go to Rome if somebody's buying my ticket. Absolutely. Good to see all of y'all. Okay, let's go to Mr. Collector here and see what he's got. Mr. Collector, take it away.
All right, cool. All right, so like you said, all my time was volunteering, which I don't regret. It was a great experience. So before I even show any books, I couldn't have done this without Rafael Jimenez. He's the one that found these books for me, and he helped me get them. They're on the very bottom. And these were all dollar books, by the way. So first pickup I got was Amazing Spider-Man. All these are $1, like I said. $10 cover issue. Jimmy Kimmel's actually in this book at the very end, which is pretty cool. Yeah.
You got that for $1?
Yeah, $1.
Oh my God, that is a beautiful cover.
Yeah, I love Silk. I love it, and it's a thick book too. And then Spider-Gwen Gwenverse issue 2.
Wow.
I love these covers right here. Spider-Gwen Gwenverse issue 3.
Wow.
Ooh,
nice.
that's cool.
Issue 4. I think it's probably one of my favorites right here.
Oh, little
Love that
Spidey
one.
costume.
And then issue 5.
Wow. A J. Scott Campbell goodness.
Yeah. And then Spider-Punk issue 1.
Wow. And all this for $1. I mean,
Yep.
$1. Wow.
Yeah.
I should have been following you
excited.
around.
He's got it.
And then What If Miles Morales became Captain America issue 1.
Oh, wow.
And then same issue 1. And then this is I love this cover a lot. This is issue 1, the variant.
Oh, yeah.
So I was glad to pick those up. And then Edge of Spider-Verse issue 4, the first Ventress. And then I even found, or he helped me find, the variant.
Oh, wow.
So that was cool. And then Miles Morales Spider-Man issue 37 variant. Anytime I could find Miles. So coming into that, Miles Morales issue 38, which is Billy Morales becoming Spider Smasher. I found 13 copies. 13 copies of cover D. So I picked them all up. But wait, there's more.
Oh, my gosh.
I found issue 1. This is cover A. But
I'm coming in.
I found 60 copies.
What?
So I bought 60 copies.
You're
And I already
crazy,
have-
dude.
And I
Wait,
already have
of which
20
one? 60 copies of which one?
Number
This
one?
one. Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
Second harm.
So,
Second harm.
Man, that's commitment right there.
and I already have 20 copies already. So I have 80 copies of issue 1.
Yeah.
And then I already had this cover already too. I already had like 6 of these. So, yeah. And I'll get to the last one right now. And I want to give a shout out to Weapon X. Actually, he actually got this book for me to go get signed by Dave Wilkins. So I wasn't able to leave where I was to go get it signed. Paul managed to go get it signed for me. So thank you, Paul, for doing that for me. But thank you, Weapon, for gifting this to me. So I didn't really get to bring anything to the show, but thank you again for that. And probably my favorite thing I managed to find, because I could never find it, or at least in a really good
Oops.
shape, was sorry.
Sorry, that was. I'm trying to delete this guy. Oh no, he's on Twitch. Okay.
Oh, okay. Was the Miles Morales The Legends from the 2018 series.
Oh wow.
This is from the Into the Spider-Verse series, which I'm really, really happy because Bedrock had it before. I had it a couple of times, but the box was kind of dinged up a lot. But this is a really, really, literally nothing wrong with this. So I've never owned one, so I was glad to pick this up too. And the guy gave me a really good deal on it, so I was really happy on that. But that was everything I got for the show. But like I said, yeah, it was a really good experience. Learned a lot. But yeah, I mean, I'm excited for next year, wherever they have it. So
I
definitely-
can't get over the 60 copies of that book, man.
oh,
Hey,
I
Mr.
mean,
Fletcher,
no. To be honest, he had another maybe 70 in the same box.
Are you?
And
That's restraint.
yeah, because I
Restraint.
told Raphael if he can hand me them, and he just kept bringing them, and I said, okay, I anything over 60 is overkill, so let's just go with 60. So I said, let's just do it the 60. It's fine.
I love it. It's like, if I go over 60,
That's a hard
that's,
stop.
that might be
Yeah.
overkill.
Yeah.
So
Hey, Mr.
But that was,
Fletcher, I want to know about that TV back there. Is that one of them TVs? Did you just keep on going when you were?
oh, that's another thing. Southern was leaving Saturday, and I was taking a TV out of the place, and he happened to see me dragging a 75-inch TV out, and he's just looking at me like, "You leaving?" I'm like, "Yeah, I got to go take care of something." He's like, "Okay, buddy." So he just sees me dragging this big old TV out before he
He brought
left.
it home with him. He brought it home with him, folks.
Yeah, I
He's gonna be
did.
looking for that TV, y'all.
Well, I mean, it's all right. I filled it back in with stuff. I filled it in with some more of the copies of the book.
There you go.
So there you go. But no, it was a great experience again. So, yeah, I mean that's everything that I picked up this weekend at the show.
Awesome. Hey, let's keep it moving right. Big shout out to Mr. Collector for all the hard work he did. Let's move right along to Southern Comic Geek. Let's see, I think he's set up and ready. Southern?
All right. Yes, one of the big hauls for this weekend is a lithograph, which I'm not typically a big fan of because it's just so beautiful. You know, it's got to be displayed somewhere. So eventually, I'm going to have to frame this thing. But it was done by Andrew Wildman, and it's one of 200. And right here, as you can see. Yeah, so it is got it's Light Our Darkest Hour. So you got Optimus Prime with the Matrix of Leadership. You got Grimlock. You got Kip, all behind my toys right here. But yeah, so this is I got it signed by the voice of Grimlock as well. So I'm hoping to get Peter Cullen to sign it before I box it up, and that way I can make it a little bit more.
I'll tell you, that was my biggest regret, was not getting a copy of that print.
Yeah, I looked at it and immediately fell in love with it. But like I said, I normally stick with the original art if I'm going to frame anything. So speaking of Unicron, I did get this.
Oh, yeah.
And so it's a DPS page that he did. Amazing artwork and detail on this. Also managed to get the death of Morph all the way back from X-Men Adventures #2. Here's Morph dying. He changes over to Beast one more time. Got him to sign that as well. So that is the art stuff. So let's show a couple of books. And if was Paul coming on tonight or no?
He was not going to be able to make it.
Okay, well, I was going to show something else if Paul was here because he was standing there when I got it signed, and it was quite the adventure. So anyway, all right. So got a couple other things. Andrew Wildman signed. If y'all remember getting that with your personal pan pizza. And if you're of a certain age, you got the song going off in your head.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's the cover that he did of that one. Of course, speaking of,
I think that was the Pizza Hut giveaway or something, wasn't it?
yeah, it come with the personal pan pizza and the cup, the drink, and there were 4 of them, and he did that one. Also, Angel Medina, who did some Hulk stuff, and that is Onslaught Impact #2, so I got that one signed. Larry Hama, I already had John Dale sign this one, and so I got Larry Hama. I like my books to get multiple signed, just more stories with them.
Nice.
So here's the interesting story with this one. Everybody, people that know, that this is the one of the advertisement books for Hulk 181. So Roy Thomas, I think, was the editor. Hama was the writer on this. Early appearance of Iron Fist. And so Larry Hama was doing two signings for free if you let him personalize it. I said, sure, I'll say $40. So if y'all notice who he personalized it out to David.
Wait. Who did he write it to?
To David.
To David.
Yeah. To David. Right? Yeah. For those of you who don't know, my name is not David. And I specifically told him and his handler, Jason. And he wrote David anyway. So,
Oh, man.
So the handler says, man, there's probably another book. Man, I hate that. There's probably another copy and vendor. I said, don't worry about it. It'll be another story. So I actually got a picture of him holding this particular book. Yes, he did the right name on the next one. But, yeah, he gave that one to David, whoever did
Hey, you
it.
got a good story though.
That is a good story. That is a good story.
Also, an early Larry Hama script, way back, Atlas Comics, Planet of the Vampires #1. If you'll notice, I had Pat Broderick already signed that. So he got this one right too, Jason. I got the newsstand copy of Wolverine 100 signed as well. Randy Emberlin was also one of the people there, probably best known for his inking of Mark Bagley back in the days of Carnage's first appearances. So Amazing Spider-Man 365, he added his John Hancock to the other 4 that were already there on that hologram cover. First appearance of Spider-Man 2099. Second appearance of the Scarlet Spider. I already had Stephen Butler to sign it. This is a newsstand, and Emberlin signed it for me. Same here for the first appearance. And then we've got another Angel Medina signed book. And another one people would probably recognize. And another Wildman book. Number 80 in a 4-issue limited series. Because it was only supposed to go 4 issues. And so they were kind of poking fun at themselves when it finally came to an end. So that was pretty cool. And yeah, so that was the pretty much it on the comic front. I got a couple of things, like most everybody else. I'd done a lot of hunting prior to getting there. I did pick up a couple of superpower toys.
Oh, wow.
Aquaman, the Joker.
Oh, yeah, the Joker with that hammer.
And the Green Lantern.
I remember that Green Lantern, too.
So, yeah, overall, it was a fun show. Got a lot of fun pickups. Of course, met various people in the community, but got a lot of signatures, which is the thing that I like to do. So it was all up my alley. For sure.
That's fantastic, man. Oh gosh, I should have gotten that. I will go down because he lives in England,
right.
So getting that print from him is going to be it's just.
He will ship it. So there's another guy. I don't know if y'all familiar with Asian Funk Comics. I don't know if y'all are familiar with him or not.
Heard of him?
Yeah. So he has a fairly large YouTube channel that he does various stuff on. And anyway, I know he's a big morph guy. So as soon as I got that picture, I sent a picture of Andrew Wildman holding that morph. He likes morph and morph changing art. So I got Andrew Wildman to hold it and just laughing at him, and I sent it to him. So it's all about having a good time. So that's
yeah. That's awesome, man. You got some great stuff and some pretty impressive books behind you there.
Oh, couple. This is like the Roy Thomas created Wolverine.
Right. Yeah.
Sorry, signed by. Hey, this is the book right here. Of course, I'm not going to take up everybody's time, but it's signed by Stan Lee, but you'll never see the signature. Quite the interesting story there.
Was it inside front cover? No.
No. Well, I guess I will take up a short amount of time with it. So the deal is, John Romita signed it. Scott Hanna drew the pose. And Renee Witherstater, who, if you've seen like Michael Golden and Mike Zeck and some of these guys, she's kind of their handler. She colored it. So if you see this Kirby Crackle right here,
you
can't really tell there's white out there. The Stan Lee signature's under there.
Oh, wow.
She whited over the Stan Lee signature to do that color.
Wow.
And the guy that sold it to me, he said, he didn't tell me that when he first done it, and then he said later on, he said, there's a Stan Lee signature on there. And so as soon as I got home from the con, I looked at it, and sure enough it was. But do appreciate everybody for hanging out with us tonight. Las Cruces from New Mexico. What is going on?
Yeah, popping in. What's up, Las Cruces 1971? Good to see you. I'm going to keep moving along to Mr. Weapon X. Weapon X.
All right. Let me.
Did you find any dollar bin steals?
I didn't find any dollar bin steals. My whole collection is dollar bin steals, but we will show you what we picked up. So I did get one of these. I know Mr. Collector showed one off, but I got one. I had a few copies of these, so I had mine signed as well. And this guy lives he lives close by, so he lives in the Woodlands, just So it's not too far for him to come down. But I have one also sign one for my little one. So she's gonna have it
nice.
in her room. And then
Very
I
nice.
got my little pop here signed as well. So
Nice.
that's signed. The voice actor there, everybody's favorite. And then I got my big
Oh,
Destro
wow.
signed as well. And then the little one, I had her the one that played
Baroness.
Baroness Morgan.
Baroness.
Yeah, she signed this, but the little one Sunday morning she woke up and she actually opened it up and took the figure out to play with it with her Barbie.
No.
Oh,
Where did you ship her off to?
Yeah. So, but for me, my prize that I picked up Sunday was
Oh,
Something That's Killing the Children, #1 in a 9.6. So that's what I saw Friday, and I waited till Sunday, and it was still there. So
Did you show that to Paul?
not yet. I thought Paul was going to be on here. I thought that's why I kind of went. I hadn't said anything, posted on Instagram or anything, because I wanted Paul to see it here first. But there
he's
you go.
watching right now and he's gnashing his teeth.
But there was a couple of where'd it go here? Pictures real quick. I wanted to show if we can here. There was one here with it's gonna come out here. Oh yeah, so this is Paul, and he's with Mr. Berger here, and he's having him sign it. Sign it to my BFF Paul, right there. He's making him sign it for him. And then we had, as part of the duties as a volunteer, we had to watch the stand sometimes when the vendors had to go take a break. And so this one, I walked by to check on him, and there was Carlos there trying to haggle a deal with Teresa. Ask her, how much is that one? And she's like, $5 if I can reach it, bum. But she couldn't reach it for him, so he didn't get that deal there. And then the last one is my favorite. There was Carlos showed up yesterday, and he was so proud, so happy to see Mr. Berger. He's like, it's a true honor to meet you, sir. And Arthur responded, you, Mr. Carlos, are a true Destro fan. Look at that. So
That's exactly what he said.
that's exactly what he said. Yes.
Right.
Right as the show was closing.
Word for word. Southern Comic Geek is today your birthday or
No. This is a going joke between me and Captain Comic. So
okay, cool.
Before I catch him.
I want to make sure. Yeah, no, the voice of Destro had more than a few choice words for me at different points.
Mm-hmm.
So,
And this was at the panel here. They had the panel on Saturday, and there was two bums that got in front of my shot there. But I was trying to get the cast at Larry Hama and all the voice actors up there talking about G.I. Joe and whatnot. So it's kind of cool. So
nice.
But
What's up, Conor McGregor? Glad to have you in the viewing audience. All right, those are awesome. Those are some good pictures. I haven't loaded any of the ones that
Okay.
I got yet.
I'll send you
So-
some more here to load up.
Yes, Spider
and
Girl. This was in Texas.
real quick, and then these two gentlemen. Let me see if I can't fix it here. I don't know if I can fix it. Well, I don't think I can fix it, but these two.
I think I look skinnier horizontal.
But you can see Mr. Southern looked sharp on dinner night Thursday. Look at
I know.
him.
The Thursday dinner to kick it off, Southern. He outdressed us all.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
He sold me a car after dinner outside in the parking lot.
For a low price.
Yeah. So, but I can't fix it to fix it. But anyway, I
We
just
financed too.
to show that one there. Shelby and Mr. Southern. So
Nice.
those are my finds for the show.
Very cool. Shelby? Here. Shelby, you want to show off a couple things?
Sure. I'll even show off comics too. but yeah, if y'all are new or y'all new to seeing me, please go over to my channel, sub me up. I drop videos all the time, and I did just drop a video today with the con, and there's Easter eggs in there. You might see a Paul, you might see a Weapon X, you might see a Southern, So I didn't necessarily highlight them, but if you watch the video closely, everybody is pretty much everybody's in there. I never saw Mr. Collector, but I think once the whole con. I don't know how he managed to hide from me. I guess he did want me to follow him to those sweet dollar deals. But no, please, it really helped me out. Really love it. Okay, first thing, I didn't actually buy this at the con, but I had a friend bring it to me at the con. Those that get to know me know that I love error things, so like double covers, triple covers, and Mark Jewelers. Like I have 2 short boxes full of Mark Jeweler comics.
Wow.
But I picked this up from NiceX, Captain Marvel 41. But if you look, it is a double cover and a Mark Jeweler.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's got 2 things going for it. So I was really happy to pick that up. And I also picked up this really clean copy of the comic for the Book and Record from 66.
Nice.
So I think it has an original story in here that you could only get in this book. But anyway, he made me a deal on that. All right.
That's nice.
Thank you. Yes. It's something that hadn't necessarily. Freeway is here. Freeway's right here, sleeping. Yep, she came up here a minute ago, but went to lay down. Southern introduced me to, getting these things double and triple signed. So Larry Hama actually wrote the nom. So I had this signed by Michael Golden and then signed by Larry Hama.
Yeah, nice.
Larry Hama also wrote this, and I had this signed by Mark Texiera, and now it's signed by Larry Hama, so that's pretty cool. This is one of the last Avengers books that Roy Thomas did right before Steve Englehart took over, and this was signed by Steve Englehart, and I got Roy Thomas to sign it. He actually told me that quick little story. He's like, "Oh yeah, that's one of the last ones I did, and Steve took over, and blah blah blah." Roy didn't do anything with this, but this is signed by George Perez, so I got it signed by Roy Thomas. And then I felt bad. Southern always educates me on some of these people. I'll be honest, I don't know inkers that well, but I went and dug in some people's boxes, and I got, a couple of Spider-Man books that
Nice.
did, and got those signed. So those are my signed things. Just a few things that I felt this is a little undervalued. I think it's because maybe there might be a cover pop on this, but First Ultron.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And then we were talking about the Golden Spire, or Spire Christian, sorry. This is something I needed. So the Adam and Eve, love the snake is wrapped through the Adam and
That's
Eve
fantastic.
title. Yeah.
And that's actually a historically accurate depiction of Adam and Eve.
It is. Yeah. You didn't know that they, drove a Jeep and
And
How do you think he got out of the garden?
Hair.
so, yeah, I thought it's kind of funny too. And,
Yeah.
but,
Now, those books are cool. I've got a stack here that I'm going to show also.
if you got any extras or anything I need for my collection, definitely keep me in mind.
Absolutely, yeah. We'll compare notes on which ones we got. I think I might have a double or two,
Okay.
but I have to go through all of them, and then I'm looking forward to showing these Crusader ones as well.
Oh yeah. Yeah, so I mentioned this in my video, but hey Teresa, but growing up, my parents weren't very religious, but you know they wanted me to have like good morals and shit. Um, and my grandparents are very religious, so they would always send me off to their house. But, you know, I'm not sure if it's for me to get religion or just get out of their hair. But I wasn't allowed to take my regular comic books over there because these were considered sinful because you know it's like people dressed up, villainy, and all that stuff. But I was allowed to have Christian Spire comics at my grandparents' house. So
Family, or we might be related because I think I have the same family.
now this one I picked up because I'd never seen it before, and it's not Christian Spire. It's Ogos or Logos printer, and it's only $5. It's not in great shape, but I picked it up because I'd never seen it before. And then later on, over there talking to Richard at Bedrock City, and he goes, "Did you happen to see that Prison to Praise book?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I bought it." And he's like, "I've never seen that book." He's like, "I've never heard of that company, so I'm gonna have to do a little more research on this." So if you know anything about it, I picked this up because I remember I bought this in a 3-pack when I was a kid. I think it's Kubert art, but again, I want to research this one a little bit more. And then we're talking about the Mighty Crusaders. So this is actually a team from the 60s in Archie Comics. And then they got revamped in the 70s by Rick Buckler after he left Marvel. So Rick Buckler art. And they did.
Is that also a Christian comic?
It is not. It is not.
Okay.
And they did an offshoot of Archie called Red Circle. So this is actually published by Archie, but it's like an imprint called Red Circle that Rich Buckler formed because he, I don't know, liked these characters or something. I think it only lasted 3 issues. I love me some Charlton books. This was just a really clean, high-grade copy. Flash Gordon, number 18.
Nice.
Beautiful, high-grade copy, and you don't see these around too often. I have really grown to appreciate Steve Ditko, and he did a lot of work with Charlton. So I picked up several Steve Ditko books. The Many Ghosts of Dr. Graves, Ghostly Tales. I love this one. Luca's Evil Eye. And just the coloring and stuff on these books is just incredible. And then this one. I love Dell and Gold Key. That was, again, one of the few things I could have at my grandparents' house. And so Sally Fields, if y'all, some of y'all know for this, The Flying Nun, number 1. So it's really cool. Laurel and Hardy, number 1. And then this one was just too weird to not pass up, is Love and Romance, number 6. It's just such a weird piece of art.
Yeah.
And it's got a David Cassidy pinup inside, but
Nice.
it's just so weird. I just had to pick it up. Sylvester and Tweety, number 8. This book I pick up when I can. Batman 200. I just love the pink background.
That's a great cover.
It's a great cover. And then lastly, Plastic Man number 1.
Ooh.
Yeah, so this one I was really, really interested in. So what volume of Plastic Man is this? Is a Silver Age book, right?
This is first Plastic Man in DC. Well, first Plastic Man in his own series at DC Comics, because he was done by
Wasn't he in Showcase?
I want to say, yeah, he his first appearance is earlier, and I want to say it's the backup story of a Flash book, but I could be wrong. It might be Showcase also, because a lot of first appearances was in Showcase in the 60s.
You might be right.
League, Flash, all those first appearances.
Yeah.
So it may have been, but I'm leaning more towards as a backup feature in Flash, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, he's been quality.
Maybe Dial H for Hero. Yeah, could have been a backup in Dial H. Yeah.
Yeah, Quality Comics is who published him before DC. Yeah.
Who was it?
Quality Comics.
Quality. Thank you. Yeah, I was about to say Police Comics. That wasn't right.
Police Comics number 15 is his first appearance.
Yeah. But this is first DC Plastic Man in his own series. So.
That's a nice book to have.
I agree with you, and I think these things are still very affordable. And DC Silver Age, I mean, I bought it from Richard, and I got a little bit of a discount, but at 8.0, $200. I didn't pay $200 for it.
Yeah.
Marvels of the same era, which there were some number ones during this time, because that's when they split off from, because DC used to distribute Marvel Comics, and the checkerboard denotes, I think it's only about 6 months. It's from 1967 to 1968 where they did the checkerboard. So about that same time, Marvel broke off and got their own distributorship, and that's when you saw these things like Strange Tales break apart, Tales to Astonish, where they used to have like Captain America, Iron Man, Hulk, Giant Man in the same book. They broke off into their own series. So during the same time period, you had Iron Man #1, Captain America 101, Hulk 102, all of those, and you see what those go for nowadays.
Yeah.
And this is the exact same era, exact same year, so these are still very, very affordable. And something I would always suggest people pick up when they have a chance.
Yeah, DC books are I've always been a DC fan, but I've shifted wildly to DC books because there's so many of them that are so affordable for what they are.
It is that, the Action Comics, Adventure Comics. I tell you, undervalued, you can pick up at a really good price. Aquaman #1, Atom #1, Hawkman #1. Okay, those are affordable. And when I say affordable, I mean in the hundreds of dollars, not thousands of dollars, for high grade copies. Green Lantern #1 might be the only one, but it's even in high grade for it, it's still on about $1,200.
Yeah.
Compared to, I have a 9.2 Iron Man #1. And that's probably a $4,200 book.
Jeez.
But yeah, I would always suggest that people. Also, Archie. Archie is very affordable in this era. So 10-cent, 12-cent Archie. I'm telling y'all, okay. If y'all are looking for something to invest in and you think that Silver Age is out of reach, it's not, okay. Look to these other companies like Charlton and such, and you can really pick up some deals. I was talking to Richard, and he actually did a price, and it actually costs less to pick up a run of Golden Age Captain Marvel than it does to pick up the first 100 run in Amazing Spider-Man.
Wow.
Its Golden Age books have dropped in price. So speaking of Golden Age, I forgot about these, and I'll be really quick. I collect promotional books, particularly World War II. So around the post World War II to early 1950s is where I collect. So this is, and most of them are mini comics. So this is really cool. Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, the Milky Way. This is done by the American Dairy Association. So you can see Snow White drinking a glass of milk. So pretty
That's
cool. And then this is, they did a lot of these. So this is March of Comics. And for some reason, it's shoe stores. I need to research and find out why it's all shoe stores. But you could get the printer to print off your own name. So this is Con Shoes. Or you can get it blank and then you can rubber stamp it yourself. So this is Laurel and Hardy, the Jetsons. So you can see this is by Sears. Sears and Roebuck. And Sears has everything for children. So it's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
This is Han Shoes, Daffy Duck and Tweety, Tom and Jerry. And this is what I meant by a blank one. So you can get them, you could have bought them blank and then just rubber stamp your own store on there. Tarzan, this is by Lazy Bones Shoes, which I think is kind of funny. So good shoes for boys and girls. Another Tarzan, but it's a blank. And then a Mr. Ed for Robin Hood shoes. So, but yeah, that's some of the weird shit I collect. But again, I mean, and it's fun, right? Like I got this.
Yeah, no, it's
back for around $100. You know,
yeah,
and
it's cool
it's
stuff.
cool. And all this stuff is from 1948 to 1952.
Wow.
So,
Do they make bags and board those sizes, or you have to leave them in? The regular?
you can get something really close, like some paperback for paperback books
Yeah.
that are really close, and there's some oversized postcard bags and boards you can get.
Same, like, what's the brand? You know the brand?
No,
Okay,
No.
okay. I was just curious. I was just wondering.
no. Richard put all these in Mylar, and then this one was really cheap, so it's just in a regular bag and board. And this is the way I usually keep mine, is just in a regular bag and board, so I can
Yeah.
put them in comic boxes.
Okay, okay. Cool.
Those are such cool like trivia pieces, you know, like neat little extra things.
Well, and again, it's a very niche, right? It's like, who the hell else, and not many, I'll be honest, not many, collects post World War II promotional books. That's why I knew that book that Southern had was Pizza Hut, because that's a promotional book. So I actually have that in my collection. I have all those
Nice.
issues, right? And then that's cheap, right? So if you think that you can't afford to get into the hobby or collect certain things, find those weird niche areas that maybe no one else is into, and and it's fun. It's definitely an adventure to try to find them, right? The journey is half the fun of this hobby of ours, is looking for it, not necessarily finding it. So yeah, there's a lot of little niche markets you can get into with that. So and affordable, very affordable.
Fun stuff. All right. Hey, I'm going to keep it moving right along. Thank you so much for sharing that, Shelby. Y'all, y'all make sure and check out his channel, Shelby's Comics. You can, I think you've got a link in the chat that you can subscribe to. Make sure and sub him up, and also to all those who are viewing from other channels and on other platforms. Thank you all for being here and for hanging out with us tonight. So here's the deal. I've got several stacks. I'm going to run through them pretty quick. I went to Pop Culture Power Show looking for signatures. I wanted to get signatures on a bunch of my G.I. Joe books. If you're a follower of my channel, you know that I have been collecting G.I. Joe and building out a full run. I think I'm about 35 issues away from having the complete 1 through 155. G.I. Joe was my jam back in the day, more so than Transformers, more so than Thundercats or Silverhawks, even though I still collect all of them, Voltron. G.I. Joe was the number one. And one of the coolest experiences last night was getting to sit down with my 9-year-old because she got to meet the voice of Destro and the voice of Baroness. And she knows that there is a G.I. Joe character with her same name. But she sat down with me and she started watching G.I. Joe and she said, "Hey, I really like this." And she was genuine. She wasn't just saying it for that reason. So that was a really neat thing that came out of it. Larry Hama, the grandfather of G.I. Joe, was there. I went ahead and had him sign. I did not get anything slabbed after all. I had debated it back and forth, but it's just too much money, and these are personal collection books. So I'm just going to go through them real quick. I got issue number 1 signed in green. I used paint markers this time. I don't know that I will use paint markers ever again. They were too inconsistent. Metallic Sharpies are still the best signing instruments I've come across for comic book covers. Just a side note, I'm going to be doing a review and a comparison because I did some experiments with paint markers. So this is G.I. Joe number 14. This is the first appearance of Destro. So Larry Hama signed it. And then Arthur Burghardt, the voice of Destro from the comic, also signed this one. Thought that was a neat one to have.
Yeah, but however, the paint markers, you and I looked at it afterwards.
Yeah.
The paint markers give a really nice matte finish that pops out on top of the glossy covers.
Yes. Yeah.
But there were flow issues with the paint markers and things like that.
That's the thing. If you're going to use them in a setting where you can actually test them and get them going, because there was. And you gotta watch them. And I don't suggest taking as many as I took either. I took a 10-pack of all different colors, and I was there fumbling with them, trying to test them and all that. Don't make that mistake. No books were ruined. They just didn't look as crisp on a couple of the books as I wanted them to. So here's issue number 21, the silent issue. That yellow paint marker turned out. This is one of the ones that turned out the best, I think, and I'm glad. Because this is one of the most valuable ones. So this one was pretty cool. Really like that. G.I. Joe number 25, first appearance of Zartan. Had him sign it in green there. I didn't get Zach Hoffman to sign that one because I was okay with it. Larry Hama signed 32, first appearance of Lady J. 37, the first appearance of Flint, Tomax, Zaymont, and Wild Bill. Number 53, the anniversary issue, had him sign this one. One of my favorite covers and storylines of all time, number 63. This had the classic reprint that was super high or super low print run. Number 104, another one of my favorite covers, Snake Eyes diving into battle off of a stealth jet with Scarlet's face in the clouds. She was in a coma during that storyline. The infamous death issue. If you watch my top 10 G.I. Joe comics that you should add to your collection, this is one of them. This is G.I. Joe number 109. This is the death issue. Larry Hama, to kind of showcase the horrors of war, let several G.I. Joe characters perish in this one. And then these start the Andrew Wildman, because Andrew Wildman was also there, and he did art for a lot of the later issues. These are all $10 to $30 books by themselves just because the print runs were so low. This is number 129. Had him sign it there. You can see it there on the side. Number 130. Number 131. You can't see his signatures as well on some of these because, like I said, the paint markers were not showing up as well. There's his signature at the bottom there of issue number 134. This is when Snake Eyes was like a ninja, when the Ninja Force thing was the big thing, and he signed on the leg there for number 135. This one turned out real good. This was a pink paint marker, issue number 137. He signed it under the Scarlet name. Number 138. He signed it there in red, but it didn't quite show up as much. But so, in person, they look pretty nice. And then the big one, or the last issue, this turned out well because Larry Hama signed it. It's issue number 155, and he signed it in green on the cover there. So this was the last one in the G.I. Joe run. I also picked up a book from Jen that I'd been needing to get from him for a little while. This is Batman, Foil Batman number 608. This was a Fan Expo Dallas book, and I needed to get it since last summer. I also had Larry Hama sign a copy of Wolverine number 50 with the famous die-cut cover. Mark Silvestri is going to be at Fan Expo Dallas here, so I plan to have him sign it over here. So I'll have both the writer and artist for this one. Roy Thomas, I had him sign a few books, and then I picked up some additional. Of course, I can't not show this one. This was the X-Men Adventures number 1, and Andrew Wildman did the art for that, so he's signed there. I don't know if you can see it in yellow. All-Star Squadron has been a recent fascination of mine that I've been picking up. So I had Roy Thomas sign issue number 1 for this one. It's in red at the bottom there. It didn't show up as well. All-Star Squadron. This one, again, the pink marker. All-Star Squadron number 23. First appearance of Amazing Man. This is a very high-grade copy, and he signed it in pink, and it looks pretty good. This copy of it, he signed it in blue. It's another high-grade copy. No, they will absolutely not be on sale at the affordable auction. All-Star Squadron number 47 with artwork by Todd McFarlane. Roy Thomas signed it, but the marker was kind of starting to go, having flow issues, so it doesn't pop as much. And then, just some other filler issues of All-Star Squadron number 9, number 17, number 8. Just really good, fun books to pick up. Number 18, number 33, number 36. Love this Shazam cover. And then number 66. Also, other books that I'd picked up was Star Slayer number 1 and number 4. These are the rest of these are parts of the run for the first appearance of Rocketeer. He had a backup story, and that's where he first appeared. So add those. Let me get to. Okay, yeah, I told Shelby I'd make sure and show these off, so let me show these. So these are the Spire Christian comic books that we were talking about. These actually were not from the show. They came in a shipment from a Facebook live sale. Corey Ten Boom's The Hiding Place from Spire Christian Comics. Live It Up was this one's pretty beat up. No, it's not an adaptation of anything. Hal Lindsey's There's a New World Coming. This is an apocalyptic book.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have that one.
Time to Run.
Yeah.
My Brother's Keeper. This one's got some real nasty tape pulls on the cover. The Coat of Many Colors in the Private Jet. Totally scripturally accurate.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, all the Christian Spire stories are based supposedly on, real stories or scripture or something like that.
Yeah. How about the Gospel Blimp, though?
I've never seen that. That is too cool.
I thought you said the Gospel Pimp for a second.
Could be that too. Could be that.
Another copy of The Hiding Place.
Now, there's two. Now, The Hiding Place and Hanzi, I think, are the only books that have a 39-cent and 49-cent variant.
Interesting. These are
I don't know of any other Christian Spire comics that have that variant. But Hanzi and The Hiding Place do.
Yeah, these are both 39 centers.
Yeah, there's also a later 49 center, and it just so happens both those are the Nazi books too. So I'm not sure what the deal is.
Yeah, there's people, that collect just Nazi books. In the Presence of Mine Enemies.
Oh,
This was a piece of Christian literature.
yeah. I've never seen that one.
Crossfire. This one was an interesting one that I'd never heard of before.
Yeah, I have that one.
Okay, yeah, here's the aforementioned The Cross and the Switchblade.
Yes.
Oh,
I've seen it, but I've never gotten it.
Roman, thank you, Roman Curtis. And I'll show, just because we're on that, I'll go ahead and show the Crusaders comic books. Shelby, you'll think these are interesting because these were very, from what I understand now, I don't, I'm pretty, I pretty much get all of these. Like I know kind of the scriptural references for these, the Spire ones. But from what I'm told, the Crusaders and what I've, just a little bit, I was able to look at them. The Crusaders were a bit more extreme, so I don't necessarily even know what all is in these. But they were just, I think, from what I'm told, again, a little bit more extreme. So this was the Crusaders. It was two guys who went around solving faith-based type of mysteries and having adventures. So this was...
Did you find these at the show, or...?
No, these
Okay.
are from the same vendor online that sold the Fire books, and he had
Okay.
these Crusaders, and he said, "Man, he said, nobody's ever going to pick these up." He said, "But because you're into faith-based,
Yeah.
theological, anything in that realm, I tend to pick up."
Yeah, Crusaders are hard to find. I don't own any of these.
Hey, well, see, here's the thing: these are a lot like Classics Illustrated, in that there was multiple editions, and I don't think they were really tracked very well. So I know there's a trick to identifying them. My CLZ database didn't have accurate information on them, so I know I'm going to have to find out about it because, some of these books, I just want to know what they are. But so this is number 1 from the Crusaders. This is the first issue.
Wow.
39 cents. This is number 3, and this was a 39-cent version.
Wow. Look at that.
Because they had and here on the back of the first one you can see the two characters, Tim Clark and James Carter. Those were the guys that would go around and do all the... Yeah, no, you're right. It is Holy Week, so it's fitting that it's in...
Oh yeah, it is almost Easter, isn't it?
Yeah, it's Easter week. So it's Sabbath, or this was volume 11. Oh wait, these are out of order. Okay, so number 5. This was a 39-cent version.
Wow. And what year are these?
These are from mid-70s.
Mid-70s. Okay.
They were definitely. They were part of the Jesus movement of the 70s.
Yeah.
And Chick Publishing or Chick Publications. It was one guy who was putting them all out, and it has a very distinctive art style on the inside of it as well. So here's number 6. Which was called Primal Man. Trying to get no glare from the Mylars. And this one was a 39-center. Then number 7, The Ark. This was a 59-center. And the neat thing is, or the interesting thing is, they would change the pricing back and forth. Not like it didn't go up as time went on. It would go back and forth, from what I have learned thus far. Number 8 is The Gift.
Wow, that's
Let's
cool.
speed it up here. This is one of the creepiest comic book covers I've ever seen. Number 9, The Angel of Light. Look at the face of that angel.
That is too cool.
Oh,
Yeah.
Satch has that book.
So then number 10 is Spellbound. It's called Spellbound.
Oh, that is too cool.
That's a cool cover.
Yeah. No, I mean they're very interesting books. Very interesting. I can't vouch for the content of what's in them because from what I've read, Chick was very, very extreme in some of his views. But they're really interesting, books to have in the personal collection. And then this was number 11, Sabotage. It's a 59-center. And then the last one, this one was not tied to either of those. This was kind of like a standalone from the Sword series. It was $1.50 price tag. It was much thicker. It was called King of Kings.
Yeah, I have that one.
Oh, do you have this one?
hmm
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, Crusaders are hard to find. Yeah, like Christian Spire was a guy named Ravel that published those, but he actually published them in conjunction with Archie Comics.
That's
And
right. That's right.
Some of the
Yeah.
artists actually contributed to the art in the Christian Spire comics, and they were distributed by Archie Comics. Now, that last one you showed, that I've researched, and that is a company up in New York that published those and gave away only in their church area or something like that. But yeah, that was a self-contained publisher. Crusader, I don't know much about that one.
The
Yeah,
King of Kings.
that was a company up in New York.
Okay. Okay. Very good to know.
They were printed just for like their church, their area, things like that, and they just kind of
Yeah.
leaked out. Crusader need to do some research on.
So
Yeah,
what happens if
we'll stay in touch on it. A couple more to show this round, then I'm going to send it back around, see if anybody else wants to share. So as you also regular viewers know that I'm a fan of Zorro, and I've been still building the Marvel run. So I picked up issue number 3 also from the same online bookseller, and then issue number 9, which I think I might have already had, but I went ahead and took another copy just in case. I'm also picked up a small run of Catwoman. Because it's Terry Dodson art, and I have a sneaking suspicion that Terry Dodson might be back in the Houston area for another convention. So this is number 30. Terry Dodson is right up there with Adam Hughes in terms of his mastery of art with the female form.
Yeah, well, and his wife inks all of his stuff.
Yeah, that's right, Rachel.
Rachel inks all of his art.
This is number 32. Yeah, it's neat how they sign their name.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dodson in the middle with their names.
Terry and Rachel. Yep.
Yeah, it's very neat. Then issue number 33. And then issue number 0. Another cool Adam Hughes cover. This was one of those pickups of opportunity where it's crazy low price, so I went ahead and snagged them. All right, I am going to go ahead and send it around. Let's see, Mr. Collector, Southern Comic Geek, Weapon X, give me a thumbs up because we are past the 1 hour mark. So give me a thumbs up if y'all want to, if either of y'all have anything else to share. Okay, Southern Comic Geek, did I see a thumbs up from you? Okay, I'm going to go over to Southern Comic Geek.
Yeah, so I threw that this other print up there, which is for you Transformers fans. Of course, we saw a lot of G.I. Joe, but the voice of Destro was also the voice of this guy right here. Remember the Constructicons? So yeah, he signed it down here. Then put Devastator over here. And then I asked him to put "prepare for extermination," so which is what he says prior to this scene in the Transformers movie when he tears that thing in Cybertron, the city there. So yeah, it was quite the experience getting to meet him, and his interactions with Paul was probably one of the highlights of the con. But yeah.
Very nice stuff, man. Lots of great stuff. All right, anybody else got something? Here we go. Look, play Carl's his mastery with the female font here. So the mastery of the artwork featuring the female form. All right. Let's see. Okay, so I think we're going to wind it down. I do want to do a couple quick more shout outs. Big, huge thanks to Southern Comic Geek, who's on here. This is my first copy of Turok #1. Well, actually, not my first copy, but is my first since I began collecting comics. So big, huge thank you to Southern for this AOK. I have one now. I'm excited because now I'm a real comic book collector.
That's right. That's right.
I'm a
And
big boy now.
you always remember your first, Carlos. It
That's
always
right.
is special between us.
That's right. That is true. That is 100% true. All right.
I could have been your first. I had a copy.
But you didn't get you. Will you see me once a week and you didn't give me one?
Well, I saw you for 10 minutes.
All right. Okay. So Roy Thomas. So this is a fun fact book for y'all that want affordable, neat key books. Justice League of America number 193. In addition to being the origin of the Red Tornado, this is also the first appearance of the All-Star Squadron, written by Roy Thomas. So he wrote the insert, much like the first appearance of the New Teen Titans in DC Comics Presents number 26. They had a preview section stapled into this. He wrote that, but not the outside book. So I did have him go ahead and sign it because he came up with All-Star Squadron. He wrote all the issues for the entire run during his time at DC. So this is one of the key books that goes into that All-Star Squadron stack that I showed you, and I had him sign it. Also, two of my random fun D-list characters, Doc Samson, who's frequently tussled with the Hulk. His first appearance is Hulk number 141. I had Roy Thomas sign that because he wrote this book. And then another, speaking of D-list characters, Stingray, who first appeared in Submariner number 19. I've always loved the design of the character. I found him in the pages of Iron Man during Armor Wars. Hint, hint. There, I had Roy Thomas sign in red paint marker him. Because this is a really cool, just a cool book for me to have. Also wanted to say, let's see. Gosh, so many books. I'm going to have to, where is... Big shout out to Teresa for the acts of kindness. Zorro Flights number 1 from American Mythology. And then Brave and the Bold number 169, starring a team up between Batman and Zatanna. Got another stack of Punisher books that came in. We'll have to handle those another time. Some other fun books, including a gold key painted UFO flying saucer cover. Very cool book here. So got just tons of stuff. Wanted to show this mug also. Autobots, but there's more than meets the eye. It was a logo mug. I wish they had done this for all of them because I would have bought all of them. Closing thoughts on Pop Culture Power Show. For a first-year convention, it was very well done. It was a fun experience, ran a lot smoother than it should have. Hoping that they were able to do well enough business to have a second year and third year and so on and so forth. If nothing else, I would say maybe, monitor the behavior of guests, your people who are appearing, celebrities, maybe just a little bit more monitoring of their behavior and word usage. I would encourage that. But all in all, solid local convention with definitely in the vein of some of the best comic conventions that are out there because it had tons of vendors with comic books, lots of toys to boot, and real comic creators that were there. Many. I didn't even show off my full run of Primos that I got signed by Carlo Barberi, who's also the regular artist on Spawn right now. He's been doing it for quite some time. He's part of Todd McFarlane's studio. So lots of cool stuff, and I know there was artists there that I didn't even go by and see. I just didn't have a ton of time there. But great convention, highly recommend it. The next convention I think we'll be covering is going to be Comic Palooza. I was a little bit harder on them last year, may do so again this year because as of the recording of this video, they only had one comic creator coming. But then after that, HTX Con will have Art Adams. That'll be here in the Houston area. Motor City Comic Con will be coming up, and then Fan Expo Dallas as well. So lots of cool conventions. You can tune in here for your comic convention coverage for the Texas and surrounding region, and then even beyond as we start to look at some of these others. Because we'll have some reports from San Diego Comic Con as well as Motor City Comic Con. So make sure you tune in for all that stuff. Thank you all so much for being here. Weapon X put up he put up the photo of my interaction with the voice of Destro. Those were absolutely not the words that he said.
This is the G version, the Disney version.
Right. This is very much the Disney version. Hey, so any of y'all, Roman Curtis, you behave. Hey, for those who want to know what I think about the Blue Beetle trailer, tune in on Wednesday night for the giveaway show. We're going to be going over the Blue Beetle trailer. We're going to be going over the Secret Invasion trailer, Dawn of DC, the new Boris Karloff comic from Gold Key Comics, and then tune in on Friday for an interview with some of the guys from Gold Key as they share about their current Kickstarter, which within 24 hours of launch, they broke their goal. So now they're all into stretch goals for the next 30 days or 27 days. I love it so much that I put my own hard-earned money into it. I generally don't do Kickstarters, but this one I couldn't. There was no way I could do it. There was no way I could. I had to do it. I'll say it that way. All right. Hey, but thank y'all. I'm going to let each of these guys say goodbye for the night, and then we're going to wrap it up. Mr. Collector, you're up first, buddy.
All right. Yeah, it was a great night. Everyone had great stuff to show. Show was awesome. Next year, I'm hoping I can attend a little more to the actual floor, but other than that, it was really, really great. So it was awesome to meet everyone there. What? Oh my God! I know what you're saying now.
I wasn't going to say anything.
Tell that story. Something happened over the weekend, but I'm not going to tell that story. But thank you.
Awesome. Let's keep moving along to Southern Comic Geek.
Yeah, overall it was a great convention. Like Carlos kind of echoes some of his thoughts. I really enjoyed it. As it being the first con, normally there are going to be a lot of snafus, and I think most of them were handled well. And the fact that the lineup that you have was comic centric is a big added plus for me. Going to cons in various different states, you see some of the horrors of cosplay, but whatever you're there for. It's just me. I'm not a cosplay guy. I'm a comic guy. So. Had a great time. Got to meet everybody. Put a physical face with the name in the virtual one, and other than Paul. No, just joking. It was fun to meet Paul too. So, to see some of the legends, to see T-Bomb and all those folks out there, and had a great time.
Awesome. Let's move along to Weapon X.
Oh man, I was trying to show.
Oh my
This
God!
book here, I think Mr. Collector was trying to buy it, but I beat him to it and put it on layaway. So that may be coming.
But he said he's not doing a 4-year plan. Remember?
Well, I mean, in 4 years, we'll see. We'll see. Price.
Yeah, I was
price
going to
may
say
drop in
you'll have
4
that
years.
book in about 2037.
Interest
No,
rate
but
27%.
as Southern said, it was good to meet everybody from the community here. I think it was kind of cool to, like you said, put a face to a name and actually meet him in person. Like I said, I couldn't. He stood us all up Thursday with his awesome suit, and then Shelby was a big help Friday getting everybody set up and at the convention, and then of course Mr. Collector being the chauffeur for all the stars. It's a whole other story, but. No, I mean, and as you said, Carlos, I think it was a good first year. I know that, I think they had, higher expectations, but it's a first year con. There is some growing pains, and I think a lot of expectations that people expected. They were kind of comparing it to Comicpalooza, which isn't fair, given that Comicpalooza is already established and this is a first year. So kind of to your point, hopefully they have enough seed money left over to kind of kickstart it for next year and roll into a year 2 for them. So,
Hey,
but
well,
overall,
I would say this. I would say this.
time.
Go ahead.
No, I would just say no. Overall, I had a good time. I enjoyed myself both as a volunteer and as a person just at the con. It was great. So
Yeah, I think, I would absolutely, here, I would say this. I would absolutely compare it to Comic Palooza because I think it bests Comic Palooza in being a convention for comic people. I mean, like this show, which is maybe like an eighth of the size, was way better than Comic Palooza was last year because it had comic creators. It had, it was something that was for comic fans, and I think Comic Palooza has shifted away from that. But that's another episode. I'm not going to get on soapbox because I want Shelby to come in and say what's up to everybody one last time for the night.
Yeah, hey, thank you so much for having me on. Again, please go sub me up. Check out some of the videos. Check out the video from the con. Look for the Easter eggs of the people from the community. My thoughts on the con. I think it had a great selection of comic book dealers, which I was really happy of. I like looking for toys and stuff too, and there was one or two good toy dealers there that had a lot of stuff. Deals are being made. It looks like comic books are flowing, which I thought was good, and that's a good sign for us in the community and for our hobby. I think all the voice actors particularly was super nice and generous. I mean, they would call you over to the table. It was just... And I'm not much into voice actors, but they were super nice people. Didn't have a lot of interaction with all the artists and such, but I come away with a really positive experience. And hopefully they can do it again next year. Hopefully Edwin will reach out and let's be a part of it again. And look forward to it. So thanks again.
Awesome. Well, to everybody who stuck with us for the whole episode, thank y'all so much for being here. We couldn't do this show literally without you because it makes it's just a whole bunch of fun to be able to sit down and hang out with all comic book people. It's one of my highlights of the week each week to be able to hang out with y'all, to see you in the chat, interacting and having a good time. Just couple quick reminders. Wednesday night, we've got the episode number 64 of the giveaway show. We're going to be talking about Blue Beetle, Secret Invasion, Dawn of DC, Gold Key and Boris Karloff, and other stuff as well. So make sure you tune in 10 p.m. Central for that. Check out the top 10 Miles Morales video if you haven't already, and the accompanying episode of Miles Hauls Live, which was last week's Monday Hauls. Lastly, Friday, make sure you tune in, or make sure you keep an eye out for the creator interview that'll happen this Friday with the people from Gold Key, and we're going to be talking about their new book launch, which is hugely successful already. Thank you all so much for being here tonight, and we will see y'all next time. Make sure and check out Mr. Collector's got the Wednesday giveaways handled for the next 60 weeks. And y'all make sure and sub up Southern Comic Geek and Shelby's Comics if you haven't already. We will see you next time. Thank y'all so much for being here tonight. Peace out.